Grab your cup of tea, whānau, if you need one. It seems like a lot of people didn't get the link. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
You know I don't function without that smoke in my mouth.
Oh, Brother Kiri's here too. Oh, Brother Warden. Waiting for a few of the other whānau to drop in.
I know it's time to meet the chosen one, no ordinary king. Surrounded by the circle of hyenas in a ring. We're lions in the jungle. Forward never we stumble. You can't take no throne unless you humble. Yeah, how many levels we can hold it down? So never turn your smile to a frown.
One more minute and we'll get into
so
it.
make you the worth it, yeah. Cause life it ain't perfect,
oh, yep.
yeah. Let the queen tell you for certain, yeah.
Ordinary girl, take a trip, step into my daily world.
My daily world.
Pretty like the diamonds and pearls.
Oh, Lord.
Temple blessed with a skin like sand. Wisdom bestowed, yeah. Wisdom bestowed. Wisdom bestowed, oh, oh.
Right, 7:05.
Wisdom bestowed,
Let the other whānau slowly start looking in. They can catch up.
I don't care 'cause it's what I'm about.
No, the other whānau. Greetings, you powerful, amazing, incredible, divine, beautiful, magnificent, full of potential, aquatic, Aquarian, Atlantean beings. Yeah, let's catch up, man. How's everybody's week been? What have you fellas been up to? Been up to some cool stuff, been up to some dramas. What's the latest? We're gonna drop in for check-ins very shortly. I'll just go over our little, well, anyway, first of all, tonight we're getting deep, whānau. We're gonna be talking about deep diving, okay? Because it's the lake mission coming up this weekend, and this week's going to be our prep week, okay? So we've got a few things that we want you fellas to work on until the weekend when we meet up. So we'll go through our little check-ins. Oh, we've got the brother Stone dropping in. We'll go through our check-ins and reflections, and then we're going to move into... for the chickens, whānau, we're gonna just talk about your fellas' week with the stillness. How did that work for you? How did that feel for you? Breathing techniques. How did you flow on with any breathing techniques? Did you utilize them in any stressful, high tension moments? General reflections, highlights, and challenges from your fellas' trainings as well. So that's what we're going to be dropping in for our check-in. And also then we're going to move into some depth training. We're going to talk a little bit about what happens to the tinana, what happens to the body when you go beneath the surface, okay? It starts doing some funky things. So we're going to have a little chat about the funky things that it starts to do when you dive down deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? Because we're going to be tapping into some of this stuff on the weekend. Then we're going to talk about what it looks like coming back to the surface. It's all right getting down there, but what's the journey getting back to the top, eh? We need to make sure we're sharp. We need to make sure we're as sharp at coming back up as we are going down. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to have a little breath exercise. I've got you fellas buddied up. You're going to hang out with your buddy in our breakout room. So you get to meet your buddy for the weekend. have a little cordial with them, talk about your fellas prep for the weekend, how you're going, what times and what's your goals and stuff like that. And then we'll just go over the lake mission, cordial lake mission plan stuff. And then we'll close our little hui. Okay? Right on, let's roll into it. Okay. Chickens. Let's drop in, whānau. Okay. Before we do, we better start with a beautiful, nice few breaths and a little karakia, eh? Okay. Closing down the eyes wherever you are, if you're available to, or just being present. Emptying your breath. Taking a nice, big, deep breath in. And release. And again. And release. And one more. And release. Letting your shoulders go. Letting your cheeks go. And from this place of stillness, we bring gratitude and thanks to our crossing of paths in this moment, to each and every person who's taken the time to tune in, who's taken the time to be present, be open for learning, acknowledging our tupuna, our ancestors, all of our forefathers, and also our descendants for their courageous actions that have come and that are yet to be. May we move forward through this classroom with open minds, open hearts, big, massive, open lungs, and a nice, deep breath hold. Taking a nice, deep breath in. And on the out breath, saying Mauri ora. Mauri ora. Mauri ora whānau. Coming back into our class. Right. Okay. Okay, Kasofi, we'll have a little bit of a minute and a half each. Mauri ora whānau. Ngā mihi nui aroha. I feel grateful every time it's class time to drop in with you fellas and catch up again. This week's been a pretty interesting week for me personally, to be honest. And yeah, I've been through some deep waves, man, this week. Kind of went into a bit of a downward spiral for a little bit there, a couple days, and just felt like doing absolutely nothing. And I pretty much just did that. I did nothing all of Saturday and nearly all of Sunday. Simone left and went on her little hikoi, little journey, fasting journey out in nature. And it was really interesting to experience her absence in our whare when I was here, and it was so interesting to see how that affected me, and how, you know, my time and my awareness was always filled with her presence here. So yeah, went on that little wānanga whānau, and yeah, it was an interesting one. But coming out the other side yesterday, and feeling really good today. Obviously Simone's back now after her little journey. We had some deep wānanga when she got back, some deep kōrero about, you know, transformation, revelations, all that cool stuff. So Yep, that's me, Mauri ora. Ngā mihi whānau. Thank you for holding space in my vulnerability. I trust that this is a safe space, as it is for all of you fellas too. Okay. I'll pass the rako over to Brother Kerry, busy in his kitchen. Let me give you a hand, brother. There you go. Try that one. Should pop up with a button for you. No, here, I'll try again. I'll try this. It might pop up again. No, maybe, kind of. Try that one. No, no, not working. Okay then. No, it's all good. Keep having a tutu around if you can. Yeah, we'll swipe to the next person. Jamal, you're sitting right next to the bro. Let's go, brother.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Oh yeah, cheer, whānau. Yeah, fuck, I had a bit of a low week again. I feel like I'm saying that every week, but fuck, I got hit hard with my kids got gastro, and then I ended up getting it. So I've been a bit sick all week. Fucking yeah. One of the upsides though, I went to try my wetsuit on after, and it fit.
Oh,
So,
nice. Nice.
But yeah, no, and I also experimented with what was it? Just being still and stuff
Yeah.
in the mornings and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. That was a bit different. It was almost like I don't even know how to explain it. It was like to me, almost like a bit of an out of body experience, just sitting there and kind of just sitting in my own thoughts. In the morning was a bit weird, but
Wow.
different from getting up and just reaching around always the phone. So that was quite cool for me.
Wow. Awesome, brother.
Yeah. But one of the one places that I've used like this week, just in a bit of a stressful moment, not really stressful, but more competitive. We were just in a haggle for golf, and yeah, just took a bit of a breath while I was lining up my shot, and yeah, it helped quite a bit. So that was pretty cool for me as well. But that was that was pretty much my week, was just being sick and then finally getting out to play golf this morning. So yeah.
I really ought about that.
Then I'll pass it over to the brother Riley.
Kia ora, everybody. First of all, apologies, I didn't make it last week. I usually have my kids every Wednesday, Thursday, but and my ex has them on Monday, Tuesday, and then we do every second weekend. But last week she had a work gig on, so I had my two young ones, and so that's it's where the priority's gotta lie, of course. Yeah, but that was awesome. That was awesome in itself. Yeah. Oh, generally, I've been pretty good, but I've had quite a few quite big things going on. Like on this week on Thursday, the settlement on my house sale happens.
Wow.
So I've been doing a few things to get that all sort of done. So yeah, that's looked after. But that, of course, for me, it also is a little bit bittersweet because that's, of course, my ex, who I was with her for 19 years. We split up like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
And so yeah, you have to sort of face all that emotional roller coaster as well, of those ups and downs of that stuff at the same time as I suppose looking forward to a little bit of financial freedom for when it settles and get a little bit of money in my back pocket, So there's a light at the end of the tunnel this week Thursday, so that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I haven't seen last week's webinar yet, so I don't know about the stillness stuff. I'll have to see if there's a recording of it, or if not, then just pay attention and see what I can pick up on that. But with regards to the breath hold stuff, just been doing just training my breath hold. I've been doing it out of water, not in the water.
Yeah.
Although I've spent a lot of time freediving, so I'm pretty comfortable in the water in general. But yeah, last week Thursday I did a 3-minute breath hold, and so I was really stoked about that. It was quite out of it. Yeah, it was just quite out of it how it comes along fast, and I think it's such a mental thing. when
Yeah.
you're struggling and you're sitting there trying to going wanting to breathe. Then when you don't, well, what happens next? Actually, not that much, really. It's just a discipline, I think, and so yeah, that's actually been pretty awesome. I haven't used the breath holder in my everyday life, although for a long time I've always, every time my children get angry, I'll always say to them, okay, in through the nose, out through the mouth, which is more of a Zen style breathing, and make sure that they do it 3 times so that they calm down and they remain calm. So anyway, kia ora, thank you for having me tonight again. And yeah, mean. I'll pass it on to Simone.
Yes, okay. Just mute me.
Awesome to hear everybody already. Oh wow. I've had a week. Oh my God. I think I took it a bit to the extreme with practicing stillness. So I took some advice from the husband and I went with my backpack, a tent, a sleeping bag, 10 liters of water up the valley here, up the mountain. Started fasting like the night after. Had an emotional roller coaster already, so yeah. But I was like, okay, let's just do it. So I went up the mountain climbing with my heavy backpack over the steep hill. Yeah, I had an awesome experience and staying out there for 2 nights, being with myself, and just on water. And I was really met with some boredom at some point, boredom and impatience. But I was feeling calm, so I was feeling calm and bored at the same time. But also, just knowing that it's just 2 nights, I can make that. I was also met with some fear of 2 wild horses that were magnificent to watch, but they had when they noticed me, they had this protection energy, and like their posture changed, so I was like, I just better hide. So it was funny or interesting to reflect on that with Ra when I came back, and like, what does that represent? What is that fear underneath? Am I afraid to get hurt, or what is it? And in the last few days, the journey continues, because then I was moving to some intense emotions, and then all of a sudden things start to click with the fear I met there on top of the hill, feeling like small when I'm met with like intimidating energy. So that was very intense journey overall, but pretty beautiful to go deeper within myself, even though I don't like it when all the spotlight is on my darkness. But okay. I'm also held with so much love in this house. So yeah. And this morning went to the pool, and I got a static breath hold of 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So that was pretty awesome. I moved through two like small contractions. So I pushed beyond the limit of the first contraction. So that was really, really awesome. Yeah. So I feel more at peace with the discomfort. And I think also one thing that changed is when I was putting on my gear, most of the times I was already like feeling all this tension, and it's such a hassle to get it on, and I was already like a bit stressed. So when I started, I was not relaxed, and this time I was like, okay, let me just put on this gear, even though it's intense, I'm just gonna stay calm. So it was way better this time. So pretty awesome to see the improvement every time. Yeah. That was over 1.5 minutes, but thank you for listening, guys. All right. I'll pass it on to Tracy.
Simone, how brave. going out there. So cool. Oh, kia ora, everyone. Um, I sort of came to a bit of a halt when I hit my head under the pool. Going through that tunnel sort of set me back a bit. But I've just been trying to have little practices where I can, but I feel like I've progressed a lot from when we first started. And it's just gonna keep at it. And I have quite a busy life. I've had my hands in a bit of everything with whānau work and also my own goals for myself. I currently did my own oil change today on my motorcycle. We've got a big women's ride coming up on the 2nd of May, International Females Ride Day. And I cleaned my own chain the other day and then going to do my own brake pads. That's one of my goals. So I'm sort of, and then I have a 20-year-old son still at home and my partner who always I practice my stillness on them and I have to pick up after them all the time. That breath, that stillness, that breathing also helps at work when we get in intense. We get quite stressful situations. Yeah, and it does, and like sometimes it takes quite a long time to recover a patient. Get them back to their normal sort of preoperative state. Sometimes you just have to take that deep breath because you've still got a way to go. So anyway, and life in general. But glad to be part of this journey and listening to everyone's vulnerability. I mean, I probably won't share everything with you, but one big up to tonight. I tried on my wetsuit and I struggled to get it on. I could relate to what Simone was talking about. Makes you feel sort of. But anyway, I didn't give up and I carried on. I just put more soap in there. And I went out to my partner. I got the first part. Look at this, got that one on, but then I couldn't get the hood on. But then I watched the video again and I put more soap in it and I got it on. So we're on.
Nice, sis.
Yes, it was a buzz because I thought I might have to send it back.
And it was comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He was going, oh, it looks a bit tight. I was going, no, there's heaps of room.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a bit tight.
Stretch it out a bit. Yeah, so anyway, is that all? Kia ora.
Yeah, yours, sis. Who are you passing it to?
I'm going to pass it to Stone.
Brother Stone.
Kia ora Ngāti Moana toa. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. 3 minutes, that's awesome. I feel very inspired with hearing that, Brother Riley. Massive. And then 2 minutes. Simone, that's awesome. Thanks for your share, everyone that's gone already. I took all my diving gear to Auckland in the weekend and it just stayed in the bag. So I didn't get a training session in this week, but I did have quite a intense personal breakthrough. I've been thinking a lot lately about how do I want to feel about life, and is it on my terms all the time, or do I become the subject of emotions, other people's thoughts and feelings? I've been working on it for ages, but I feel like I'm going on a way deeper level, and especially this program's helping me to do that, because I keep looking out to this. I'm working right next to the ocean at the moment, and I keep looking out there, thinking about. I've been doing a lot of visualization about diving. Haven't been doing the training in the pool, but the visualization's been helping me to create more discernment in my mind around fear and practicalities, and just thinking a lot about what Ollie said about, I'm just training myself at the moment to create discernment between fear and intuition, because right now there's a storm raging out there. There's like no way I'd better go diving out there. It's actually like extremely dangerous. So it's like, just building my own awareness about that, and yeah, just working to my level slowly. But the major breakthrough I had was when my kids came back. I've got them week on, week off, and then I noticed this real deep seated habit that I have of getting really busy. As soon as they come back, I'd start to try and like do all these renovations, or I just start like skitzing out about it, like 10 different jobs at one time. And then I was like, and then I fully had this moment of like when it became conscious. Because a lot of the time I was really trapped in it, and that's what a lot of my work is about. And I'm working on it myself every day to make the subconscious conscious, to like really bring forward what I'm doing in each moment and being aware of it, and then deciding, is that how I actually want to be? So I had a massive breakthrough with that, of just starting to try and think about 15 different things, started this job, started this other job, and then was like going into a bit of a mania. And then I was like, far out. I was like, what are you up to, bro? You know, like none of this matters. That's me. Got a whānau. I look forward to getting on 3 minutes off. I'm going to really train more. Ka huri atu te rākau ki Vipul. I'll go to you, brother.
Kia ora, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, once again, thanks to everybody for sharing. Yeah, I think it's been a full-on week. It's work has gotten a little bit crazy, but I found that I think I was actually thinking I wasn't going to be on this because it was just such a full-on day today at work, but I find that this is actually quite calming to come listen to everybody and do some of the breathing here and doing that. So I think that was it's a good choice to be on today. I did some training this past weekend at the pool, and once again, I'd say it was pretty neat. They had the full 50 meters open at Kiwa, and so like practicing in that full the full pool length was a lot of I think it seemed a lot further than at first I thought it was going to be when trying to make it all the way down the length. But was it working on that, and then just did a lot of, I think it's amazing how I was like, oh, I'll do a full, I'll work on this, and then I'll do some exercise, and then I'll go back to it, and then, but my body was tired, my mind got distracted for a while from working out. I couldn't concentrate as much, and it's like all of a sudden, like all those things, the contractions were happening. I couldn't stay under very long. Everything, I started cramping really quickly. So I tried to do some deep breaths, and that really helped kind of refocus everything. But yeah, I think kind of recognizing that sometimes you just got to focus on one thing, which is, thinking about this in bigger senses as well. Sometimes you just got to, if you would do what you're there for. And so that was a good moment of recognizing that. But yeah, really looking forward to this weekend. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and can't wait to kind of give this a go with everyone. I haven't really done any free diving before, so getting out there in a lake and in the water is gonna be great. So thanks everyone for listening to that. Carrie, are you able to turn that on now?
For the Curie. It's a little button, little thing with a red line through it.
Click on the screen and then it should.
Oh yeah, that was the camera button. It should be next to there somewhere. I'll try that out. There you go. Did you see something pop up there? Maybe see if it will. Yeah, you got it, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, kia ora whānau. My apologies too for not being present last week, but we're in the house tonight, so nā mihi kia koutou. Some reflections. Well, I checked out their video from I jumped on their webinar because I was pretty interesting, because I wanted to look at that what is it, that shallow water blackout, and I wanted to share an experience. I actually went through that.
Ooh.
And it actually made me think about it, because
I would say I'm a pretty confident free diver, but this one particular day, good conditions. It was only around about 3 meters, but there was this big buck. So if you've ever gone down and try and get yourself a crayfish or something, but this one was massive, but it was under quite a bit of a ledge.
Yeah.
I found myself. I did all the prep that we're going through at the moment. Whānau about breathing, taking my time. I located it. I knew how far I needed to drop down. The only reason why I bring that up is because Ollie brought it up, and it was pretty interesting because if you're not aware, and when I heard it from Ollie, I looked at everybody else's reaction and I thought, shucks. But we need to be aware of this. So grateful for this course that allows to make yourself aware of the conditions. So although you could have the perfect conditions, it was only 3 meters. But I went down anyway. But what had happened, I had been ravaging around trying to get a feed, and there wasn't much out there. But the only thing that was on offer was this big buck I came across. How it happened to be there, I don't know, but I wasn't going to let that one get away. Anyway, I got my breathe up. I dropped my spear gun on just above it, so I knew where I was actually going to drop onto it. And then I found myself, I got myself into a trance, and I was looking at this crayfish, and I was going, yeah, which way you think I'm going to come? Do I put this hand out here, and then I'll grab it with the other hand? So I really took my time, but I didn't realize I was actually taking my time too long because I was holding my breath for a little bit longer than I should have. And it wasn't until I was at the end of my breath, I started to get my hand on, I got my hand on the buck. And then I realized, oh, man, these things can really fight back.
Yeah.
And I was struggling under the water, but I didn't want to let go. And then I found myself, oh gosh, gasping for air, but I didn't want to let go finally. And what had happened, I got to the point where I was actually really, really struggling with it. There's a guy on this shoulder saying, no, get out, pull out. But the other guy on this shoulder says, no, you've been in the water for too long. You're going to go home with this buck. So I listened to the other fella, no, you just grab this and then we're out of here. By the time I had grabbed it, I realized my whole body just went limp mode. And so I knew straight away my survival skills started to kick in. And then as soon as I grabbed this buck, I put it straight to my chest like this. And then I kind of went hoping that I'll drift up onto my back. But I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. All I found myself was floating on top of the water on my back. And what kicked me back into life was its pinches. It actually pinched the bottom of my jaw and it kind of ripped it. And that was enough for me to kick out into it and snap out of it. So I just want to share that because sometimes, it's interesting when I heard about Ollie's experiences of you just get out there. So, for a few years now, I've been diving out by myself. And since I moved back to the East Coast, my wife is trying to get me to buddy up with people, but sometimes our timings are never right. So I realized at that time where, it can be a really scary thing, and you got to know your limits there, whānau. And for me, I really pushed my limits that particular day. Had I not got that buck, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened because it was actually that buck that actually kicked me back into life. So, I don't know how long I was out for, but all I know that this thing was just pinching my cheeks like this, and I snapped out of it, and I was floating on my back. So I thought I'd share that in regards to our reflections. I don't mean to put everybody on to make it just go through the processes. Whānau, whatever you're doing in the pools, you got to start somewhere. And I don't like the pools, to be honest. I like water.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
gross.
I've got about a 5 minute walk down to the beach, and I can just I pretty much do my breathe ups down there. So I haven't hit the water this week, but I've been doing a lot of it's yeah, meditating, I suppose. Just getting into that regular kind of breathing up.
Yeah.
Some of my wins, my daughter, she's currently 2 weeks out, and we're shooting down to Porirua for her long distance walkers. So she's got a national walkers coming up shortly, and
Awesome.
her strength building and stuff like that. Everything that we're doing on here is something that will kind of transfer to my babies, in order to get them settled in themselves, get into a good state of mind, focusing and stuff like that. So yeah, whānau, that's me. I don't mean to scare you, but it does happen. And honestly, I don't know how long it was out for, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, whānau. And yeah.
Awesome, brother. Beautiful, beautiful, powerful story. What a gift to have you here, and what an amazing, incredible gift the Moana has given you.
Well, I know, brother. I know. So very blessed. But if we whānau as a yeah, just go through the processes and just listen to what Ra's saying.
Gotcha.
It will benefit in the long run. But yeah, like I say, I've been out heaps of times, but just still trying to hone in my skills. Yeah, aroha mai. Who's next? Mr. Lee, is it? Kia ora.
Only. Yep.
Oh, thank you for sharing that cool story. I was fully engaged in the whole thing. Reflections, um, like the breathing exercises and kind of just coming back to check in, like how we've been able to utilize that. So for myself, I've like learned that I don't breathe properly. I have like real irregular, like sometimes I'll hold my breath for way too long and just stop breathing. And sometimes I'm just like, whoa, take a breath, girl. So that was really so I actually got to tell myself to breathe, like just breathe, yo, just come on, like and I've like got to so that was really interesting to become aware of that. And I also felt too that because I have a lot of I do struggle like with anger and frustration quite quickly. I can get quite angry. I have been lately. But with the breathing, I just tell myself, just take a breath, just breathe, just stop and breathe. And I'll do it quite openly so that my kids can hear me, when things start to switch, I'm like, just breathe, and I'll take a deep breath. And so, yeah, that's been really helpful. It's helped just to calm me down, and just the power of breath really has, I feel like it's helped. It's like a real powerful tool to use to just to move things along and be able to self-regulate a lot of things. Because my thing has been, I've been going through a hell of a roller coaster for the past 6 months, and so I'm on that healing journey. So breath has taught me a lot. There's a lot of things happening, and so just being brought back to that awareness of our breath, how we use it, has just taken me down that sort of focused path. So thank you for that. And I will. Who's in here now? Joe.
Oh, Joe. Kia ora, sis. Joe Dispenza.
Are we on?
Yep, where are you? Oh, yep, we can hear you, brother.
Yep. Are we on? Right.
Roger.
Kia ora, whānau. Hey, kia ora. Hey, the stillness, I've implemented that a few times this week, and it's amazing how you can it's amazing how it can set you up for the day. It's just clearing your mind and just having a clear head can set you up for a good day. You know, it's worked for me. I've used it, I don't know, about 3 or 4 times this week, and it's really good. And I'm gonna try and make that part of my routine as a morning thing instead of waking up in the morning and just reaching for the phone and having a quick scroll. So I'm looking at implementing that in my morning routine.
Awesome.
I haven't been well this week. I've been down with the flu. I think it's because of the change of the weather, and so I managed to get a one pool session in this week, and yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, I'm just trying to get over the flu and trying to get my breathing rate in the pool as well. So yeah, but outside of the pool, I've been practicing the breathing techniques on my couch and just breathing
Nice.
at 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out.
Yeah.
Just going through those motions, and it's been pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with everyone this week and putting all this into practice, and
Yep.
let's see where it takes us.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see where
cheers.
it takes us.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Tahira. Kia ora, brother
Tahira.
Joe. Ngā mihi.
Cheers, brother. Cheers, bro.
Kia ora, everybody. You may have forgotten my face. I haven't been to the last 2 sessions.
Yeehaw.
But I'm keen as to come to Taupo to the lake and do some diving. So
We're good.
I made the effort to come to this one, even though I just finished mahi as soon as I signed in. I was making my dinner, my toast.
Massive, brother. Massive.
Sure, thank you. I guess just checking in. This mahi's been super busy. I haven't been able to balance anything else but work, which is something I probably should learn. And something just about my breathing that I've recognized is that subconsciously I breathe quite. I don't breathe deeply. I have quick, short, little breaths. And that's something I do like subconsciously throughout the day, and maybe I miss out on those deep kind of take your time, soak up all the oxygen, and that's something that I know, that's a habit that I have, and I guess these breathing techniques and just thinking about my breath, I guess will help me work on that. But yeah, another thing, my brother, he's a diver, Leon, but he's based in Dunedin. He's half Japanese, but he's out there in the Awa pumping it. And he's going back to Japan, but he sold me some gear at a good price, and I got a full wetsuit and some goggles, a good mask,
Awesome.
at a good price, and some fins. So I'm ready to go. I got the gears, and sure. That's about it. I can't wait to see everybody in Taupo.
Awesome, brother. Wicked. Who we got left? Jay. Brother Joe.
Good evening.
Greetings.
I've just come from yoga, so I'm feeling really relaxed. Yeah, lots of 3-second breaths in and 6-second breaths out. Yeah. What have I've only been in the lake once this week, but I was in Auckland on Monday and I went and visited Wetty. And
Ooh.
God, it's so dangerous going to shops like that, eh?
Yes.
And but I got the mower package with they didn't have the right size suit, so I got a upgrade and upgraded the fins. And yeah,
Yeehaw.
so I'm going to jump in the lake tomorrow. I'll let you know how cold it is.
Oh,
And
yes, please.
and should be all right. It's only just really cooling down here.
Okay, cool.
I'm a bit torn, eh, because the stags are starting to roar as well, right in my backyard, literally. Um, so looking forward to the weekend. Breath work, it's so interesting. My like I've been doing Wim Hof breathing for ages, and like on the out breath, with Wim Hof breathing, you breathe out and then
Yeah.
hold.
Yeah.
And I do 6 or 8 sessions of that, and I can like hold the out breath for like 3.5 minutes.
Mm.
And totally opposite when it comes to the in breath. I breathe in and like I can do it. I can hold for a minute 20, but then when I jump in the water, start moving around, holy, the whole that just goes.
Mhm.
Right, just like so. Yeah, a lot of work to do there
Mhm.
and increasing that. Yeah,
Awesome, bro.
cool. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll go and suss us out a good camp too. The next couple of days.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
How many are we? Do we know how many we are for camping?
No, we don't actually have a clear number on who is all going to be there yet,
Yeah,
but it's possibly
always.
going to be a lot. I think Aurora was the only one who's mentioned that she wasn't going to be there so far.
Yeah.
But we'll round up some numbers and get some clarity on
It
that.
is. So it's supercar racing weekend too in
Is it?
Taupo. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
We just need to slip through and then go out to the bay. Do you think they'll be
Yeah.
driving around out there? They won't be driving out there. They're driving up the main street, eh? There'll be heaps
Oh,
of
they're
people.
yeah, like downtown. Oh, last year actually town was pretty quiet
Oh,
during the racing,
okay.
but yeah, we should be all right. If you're coming in from the north, just go at Wairaki down to the river park, and if you're coming from the south, just come around the lakefront, and it'll be pretty sweet.
Okay, cool. We'll draw up a little
Mm.
bit of a map, eh? Over
Yeah,
the
good
week,
idea.
we'll plug it into our group so that we
Mm.
got some clear directions and stuff and all that cool stuff that'll help us, I reckon. Cool, brother Jay. Thank you
Sweet.
very much,
You
our
know,
man on the
anyone
ground
else?
in Taupo. Let's
Who
get
else is
into
to speak?
let's get
Yeah.
stuck into our class, eh? We're about half an hour into it, but it's worth it, eh? It's worth it. We've got to make sure that we're all checked in. Okay, so before we shift into our next gear, let's all connect with 3 nice big slow breaths. Once again, our transition breaths, taking a nice deep breath in, filling the lungs right up and releasing. And all the way in. Hold. And release. And in through the puku up to the chest. And hold. And slowly release. Oh, the order farming. Very powerful shears. I love it. Okay, depth training. Let's dive in. Deep diving. Tonight's class is pretty much mental preparation for our weekend. Okay. What happens to our body when we're going beneath the surface? Here it is. All of the yumminess that happens inside of our body. So as we descend through the different atmospheric pressures, at the surface, there is one atmosphere on our body. Our lungs are at 100% capacity. You can see this little diagram. As you descend 10 meters, your lungs are at half the size. At 10 meters, your lungs are at 50%, half the size, compressed. 20 meters, 1/3, 30 meters, 1/4, 40 meters, 1/5, 50 meters, 1/6, and you get the drift. So this is just due to the amount of pressure and the weight that the water possesses, squeezing our internal organs. And also, this is why equalizing is so important. At the 0 to 5 meter mark, the buoyancy is the strongest. Okay. That's what happens when you go swim down from the surface and you keep floating back to the surface. At 10 meters, equalization becomes absolutely essential. Okay. Equalization becomes absolutely essential. If you don't equalize around 10 meters, you will definitely feel pain and you can do some serious damage to your inner ear. So on the weekend, we're going to be making sure that we all can equalize nice and clean before we go into our diving practice. 15 meters, this is often where you feel a drop in buoyancy and neutral buoyancy point. From here, you might begin to free fall, less effort and more gliding. Okay, oops, sorry. And then at 20 meters, you hit that free fall zone. You become negatively buoyant. Your body naturally sinks without kicking. Movement here should be smooth, minimal, and just gliding. Okay. So around 15 to 20 meters, you hit a free fall point, a neutral buoyancy point, where you just sink naturally. So you just go in, you just focus on just slowing right down and going into stillness. Okay. Some really handy things to remember when we go into this exercise at the lake is to equalize early and equalize often, ideally every meter. The deeper that we go, the more internal control matters. We need to stay really sharp with our focus in a meditative state and not let our mind race around into panic mode. Become aware of the buoyancy shifting point where you stop floating and start sinking, because when we're descending, we're gonna see if we can get down to at least 10 to 15 meters. Okay. I want to see like all of us. We're gonna work towards, everyone's at their own different sort of levels. So we're gonna not push anyone further than they need to go. But for the people who are more capable and who are showing good development, we'll put some lines down for 15 meters, okay? And we'll play around. We'll see if some of you guys can get down to 15 meters. So at 15 meters, you should be hitting that free fall point around the 11-meter mark, and you should just be sinking completely still, sinking straight down to the bottom, turning at the bottom and ascending back to the surface. Okay. The deeper you dive, the more stillness and the more your mindset needs to take over. Here's some examples of your posture, okay, when descending from the surface. You want to be completely streamlined. You want your chin almost tucked. You want your spine nice and straight. You can see that head position in that other diagram above where he looks like a banana. They call that like a banana shape. And that's obviously creating resistance, and you're not completely streamlined when you're descending in that space, in that shape. You can see these two wahine here have nice tuck chins. They're almost looking at the line and then looking up gradually just to see where they're going. Salt water. Yes, Tony. Oh, sorry, this is you, Mala. Oh, okay. Yes, this is in both bodies of water, ocean and salt, and fresh. Okay. Can't emphasize enough when we go to do this practice down in the weekend at the lake to really equalize. I want to make sure that everybody's really comfortable with equalizing before we move forward. So throughout this week, please just play around with the equalizations at home, lying in bed, walking around the street, whatever, just pinching your nose, blowing your ears out. Get your equalization nice and clean because you're going to be tapping into it. Okay, so that's the journey down, but how do we come back to this top? Ascending is just as important as descending down to the surface, okay? When we're on this, when we are going to go and set these ropes up and have these practices on some deep dives, if you don't feel comfortable with going all the way to the bottom, you need to make a decision and come back to the surface. There'll be some support divers going down with you. Myself, I'll be coming down with you anyway to just, we're going to be practicing shallow water blackout recovery and all that sort of stuff with each other. So we're all going to be confident before we even move into it. You're going to hang out with your buddy sort of towards the end of this class and get to know that person because you guys are going to be diving together on the day and you're going to have to look out for each other. So, this sort of reminds me a little bit about the Brother Kerry story. It's you start your ascent, so you're descending down, and let's say you're not quite to the bottom. You start your ascent when you still feel in control and your body is calm. If you're thinking, I can probably make it, you've waited too long. Okay. You don't want to even question whether I can make it or I can't. You need to make a decision and come back to the surface when you're comfortable. Okay. But we'll get to practice all that stuff on the weekend too. Obviously on the way up to the surface, you're keeping your body streamlined, just like how you descended. You're not swimming to the surface with your chin up, looking at the surface. You're swimming with a nice straight back, doing your nice kicks, your slow kicks. You can have your arms down beside you, or you might want one above you, but it's nice and comfortable just letting them hang down beside you. Legs together, minimal drag, and head in a neutral position, not looking up because that just creates more drag. And the less drag that you're creating on the way up, the more oxygen that you're saving, the more energy you're saving. Okay, when it comes to the kicking, we're using efficient kicks, not panic kicks. This is a panic kick. Hey, that's a panic kick, kicking 100 miles an hour, thinking about the surface before you even get there. We want to do nice, slow, steady kicks, avoiding fast, jerky, panicked movements. No arm movements, none of this stuff. Okay, we're just solely just dropping into that meditation, that meditative space. This is why we're practicing the static breath holds, because you may start to feel contractions or you may start to feel some uncomfortability, like you want the urge to breathe. But we've just got to sit in that uncomfortable space, remain in your center, and just stay slow. Just stay slow. Even when you feel like you need that breath and you want to rush to the surface, just stay in it fine. Because the more you rush, the more you panic, the more you consume your oxygen. Okay. So don't waste your energy. And it's easier said than done. When we get in there, we'll know all about it. yep, on the way to the surface, relaxing everything as well, relaxing your face, relaxing your hands, relaxing your neck. Tension in all these small places adds up. The breath will come. You just have to trust the process. The calmer you stay, the more oxygen you keep. Okay. And becoming conscious and aware of that last 10 to 5 meters is where this is most commonly where the blackout occurs. You'll have a support. Your buddy will be swimming up with you anyway when you get to 10-ish meters, 5-ish meters. No celebrating early, okay? When you get to the surface, stay present and yeah, just stay very present. Okay. So some of the key things that we need to remember when we're ascending is begin the ascent before you're too desperate for a breath. Move smooth and streamlined. Kick efficiently, not frantically. Relax your body, relax your face muscles, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, and just use the power in your legs, use the motion. Stay sharp in the last 10 to 5 meters and have your buddy next to you. It's watching out for you. Bye. Right. Let's just say you've ascended from 15 meters. You get to the top and you're like, you really need to take a breath, okay? So what we're going to practice is a thing called recovery breaths. And we're going to start implementing this even in our trainings, okay? Recovery breath is a pretty simple thing. It's just, first we'll go through what is recovery breaths. Recovery breaths are small, controlled breaths you take immediately after surfacing from your dive. Okay. They're not deep, gasping inhales. They're just small, calm breaths. And why do we do those? Why do we do these? Because after a dive, our body is low on oxygen, okay? And the most dangerous moment for blackout is right at the surface. When our oxygen level is at its lowest, and the recovery breaths re-oxygenate the brain quickly, okay? So when you get to the surface, the reason for the recovery breaths is to just re-oxygenate your brain. And this is possibly also what happened with the brother Kerry. I'll just tap into your story a little bit, brother, throughout this thing. It's because it's really interesting. It's like because when you save someone from a shallow water blackout, essentially all we're doing is we're reminding their body that they're in the atmosphere, that they're in the space. And it's classic. The crayfish was pinching you because the rule is blow, tap, talk. And so part of the recovery stage is to tap someone on the face, which the crayfish was giving you was giving you a good old scratch, eh? So yeah, but the whole journey to recover someone from the shallow water blackout is just ultimately just reminding their body. Our teen hunter is super intelligent and it knows what it's up to. So all we're doing is we're bringing it back to the surface, ripping the mask off, and then just reminding their teen hunter that they're in the atmosphere. Brother Stone, you got a question? How much air do you let out during a 10-meter dive? Let out on the way back up? No, there is absolutely no letting out of air on the way up, my brother. We hold our breath all the way back to the surface, and then we release at the surface, and then we take our recovery breaths. So it's like you get to the top.
Right, so every time you're diving, you're just holding that breath in for the whole duration. You don't let out any bubbles or
No.
let out any of that air.
Yeah. Hold it the whole time, brother.
Good to know.
Yeah. Hold it the whole time. And actually there's a lot of the percentage of blackouts happens at the surface as well. So yeah, we want to pour that oxygen back into our brain. and give it that deliciousness that it needs. Okay. Yeah, okay. So some common mistakes that can happen when you get back to the surface is gasping for deep breaths. It can cause tension in the body or even cause blackout. Holding the breath after resurfacing, and ignoring your recovery because you feel fine. And remember, in one of the other classes, I mentioned that your recovery time on the surface should be at least twice what you spent under the water. Twice the time that you spent under the water. Okay, just to be sharp. And 1 minute 45 is a nice time to fully relax and do your tidal breathing and breathe up and get ready for your descent.
Just another partai there, brother.
Yep.
What's the average descent time to a 10-meter mark?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Or maybe that where you get to the free fall, like for you, for your diving, what's your reflection on a time to get to that point? I've never been in that free fall zone.
Nah, that's a good question, and I've actually never really done like competitive free diving, like down a rope and then touch the bottom and come back up. I heard one woman, she did a 30-meter dive in like less than a minute. So, in terms of your bottom time or the time underneath the surface is a lot less than if you were actually out there gathering kai, I think. Because it's like it almost it should be easier. You've got one main focus to get to the end of the rope and get back to the top. Far out, like you're
I'm
not
just
like
thinking
trying to
about the kicking. I'm just
huh?
thinking about the kicking, like because when you're getting a kai or if you're going to shoot a fish, you're sort of not as like driven to get there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing of getting to a bottom of a rope is more of like to me is more intense than kind of going down looking for some power or something.
True.
That's how I'm thinking it. And then
Yeah.
I'm just wondering to give myself awareness about, am I going to count seconds as I'm going down,
Yeah.
but that might be the wrong way to do it because that might give me a preconceived idea of when
Yeah.
I've got to turn back. Maybe I can get up,
Yeah. You just got to let it go. Just let it go, brother. And just when we get to the thing, you'll melt into it. You'll melt into it, no sweat. And there'll be, I'll give examples and stuff as well. And it won't take you long. It won't take you long to just clear the mind, drop into your meditation and just let go and just drop and just fall. The beautiful thing about the lake too is it's nice and clean. Well, I'm sure it's still clean in Whakaiko Bay. It was nice and delicious. Oh yeah, kind of a little bit. Okay. Because that adds another element to the whole story when the visibility is a bit low. But we'll trust the stars will align. Yep, it's going to be an awesome, incredible, beautiful journey, Fano, and I'm super excited for it to toe talk and support you fellas in going deep into yourselves and deep into the lake. Any questions?
Just to clarify, maybe I didn't hear it properly, but when we do recovery breaths, it's through the nose and out the mouth?
No, just in through the mouth, brother.
Okay.
Yep, all through
Yep.
the mouth.
Sure.
So it's just and you know what? It'll happen naturally. Your body knows what to do as well. Okay, I trust that your body will figure it out too on the day. No more questions. Right on. I'm teaching you guys a new breath exercise. I'm teaching you guys a new breath exercise, and this exercise is to increase your CO2 tolerance and stretch your diaphragm muscles out. Vipal, you know what the diaphragm muscle is, eh? So this is an awesome technique. And let me try. I'm going to have to explain it to you guys, okay? If you need to write it down, write it on your phone or your pen and paper or whatever you got there. Screenshot it if you want to. Okay, so we're going to do a 30-second example. Okay, it's a cycle breath. And you guys are going to practice this breath technique for 15 minutes if you can each day. I'm sure you can find 15 minutes of your life in the daytime somewhere. Okay. So the cycle goes like this. So you can see this there, it says it's a 30-second example. We're going to use 30 seconds as it's sort of the beginner's baseline, okay? You can take this into 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute, 1 minute 5. If you find this 30 seconds too easy, okay, I've been told you only increase 5 seconds each time, okay? You need to go up in steps and stages, taking your time. If it's too easy for you, don't quickly just jump into 1 minute. Because it's actually better as you progress through this freediving journey to take it slow. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of what the breath cycle looks like, and then we're going to have a go. So it's a 5-second inhale. Let me just get my phone. Okay. 5-second inhale. So it looks like this. 5 seconds in. Hold for 15 seconds. And exhale for 5 seconds. And hold for 5 seconds. And inhale for 5 seconds. And hold for 15 seconds. And then exhale for 5 seconds. And then hold for 5 seconds. Okay, so that's the drift. So these are the cycles. All right. Right. We're gonna practice this and we're gonna have a go for 10 minutes. So are there any questions that anyone not clear with the flow? It's pretty easy, eh? Pretty simple. But if you got a question, throw it in there. Vipal?
Rob, when you said you increase it by 5 seconds each time, are you just increasing like which part are you increasing by 5? You just increase like 5 second to 10 seconds inhale, or are you going to go to just an extra 1 second per so that you're getting 35 seconds?
Okay. So you run with the 30 seconds through your whole cycle. The whole cycle is 15 minutes, but we're only going to do 10 minutes tonight for time. And then if you find that at the end of that 15 minutes for you is too easy, you up it 5 seconds on the next day. So then you do 35
15
seconds.
minutes and 5. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. You got it? So then tomorrow you do 35 seconds cycles for 15 minutes. Okay. And then if that's too easy, you increase it another 5 seconds the next day. And what you do is you just keep the 5-second inhales, the 5-second exhales, and the 5-second holds and you make up the time in the where it says 15-second hold, that's where you add your extra time in the holding period. Okay, makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's drop into the beginner's cycle breathing. Okay. 3, 2, and okay, when you take your big breath, we're taking a nice big inhale from the puku up to the chest, filling it right to the top. Before we hold, we're going to hold for 15. We're going to exhale for 5. Then we're going to hold for 5 on the out breath. And then we're going to start the cycle again. Big breath in for 5, hold for 15, out for 5, hold for 5, in for 5, hold for 15, out for 5, hold for 5. Okay, and we're just going to keep going around and around in that cycle for 10 minutes. Kapai. 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. And hold. Exhale for 5. And hold. Inhale for 5. And hold. Exhale for 5. And hold. Inhale for 5. Hold. Exhale for 5. And hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. That's 2 minutes. Exhale. And hold on the out. Inhale. Through the belly up to the chest. And hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. And hold. It's 3 minutes. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. Hold. That's 4 minutes. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. 5 minutes. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. 6 minutes. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Coming up to the 8-minute mark. Exhale. All the way out. And hold. Inhale. Hold. We're at 8 minutes now. Relaxing any tension in your body. And release. And hold. Inhale. Hold. Dropping into your zone. and release. And hold. Breath in. Hold. One more minute. And release. And hold. Breath in. Hold. In your zone. Stay in it. And release. And hold. Take a nice big breath in. And return to your natural breath. Just come back into your natural breathing rhythm. Find your pace, find your rhythm. Okay. Good work, Fino. Good work. I think a few of you guys found that quite easy. But I'm not sure. There's a few very relaxed faces in there, so I thought, well, you guys might just be meditating through the whole thing. Tahita, I felt heaps of things. Awesome, brother. Ah, Vipal, that was intense. Okay, no worries. No worries, Vipal. Lots of love, brother. Ka kite. Yes, good way to increase the efficiency of the in-breath, filling the belly first. Tracy was zoning. Nice, nice, nice. Feeling very relaxed, brother Stone. Roger, my brother. Yeah. So that was a 30-second, 10-minute cycle. I would really, really love you guys to do 15 minutes each day. Okay. 15 minutes each day. But for now, how is everyone for time? Want to have a quick little breakout with your buddy. If you have to leave, that's Kate to Pie. Otherwise, I'm going to tune you guys in with your buddy for the weekend. Just raise your hand if you need to go. Otherwise, I'll plug you all in for a quick little catch-up session with your mate. Okay, let's lock it. Kiri needs to go. Okay. Kate to Pie, my brother. Ngā mihi. Where is the brother Kiri? Okay. Cute. So ngā mihi, brother Kiri. Okay. So let's hook these breakout rooms up. Breakout rooms. Okay, let's go for assign manually. We've got a couple of dive buddies in here, I can see. Room 1, assign. We've got the brother J and the brother Stone. The dive merman, right? We've got the brothers there. We've got who else we got here? Is Tracy? Oh, is Tony Lee not here anymore? Okay, that's all right. Tracy, your buddy's Tony, but we'll hook you up with someone else for now. Who else have we got? Okay, Joe, John, Riley. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this. Right on, whānau. Okay. So meet your dive buddy. Share your goals for this weekend. Depth. Static breath holds if you've got some, newfound goals that you want to target or you want to hit. And talk about some prep and arrival times and your travel and stuff for the weekend. Okay. Enjoy connecting in with your dive buddy. You got about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Should be getting an invite to your little room now. You got an invite? Awesome.
Hi, Tracy. Are you still in the zone? Yeah, I can see. Super relaxed. That's good. That's good. I'm also still getting out of it's just so incredible how reading, literally life force gets you so into a different state. So yeah, that's really a gift. That is extra amazing if you can make space for that with busy life. Yeah. So you're coming Thursday after your you had something, right? Yeah. Yeah. My cash will be already paid. Yeah. And I think that you'll include with him, I'm not sure, or I'll yeah, because all you guys are coming in on Saturday morning. So are you gonna leave super early then? Yeah, it's be our only option. Yeah. Which isn't ideal, but it's going to be a little challenging. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Talk about 10-ish. You just get a good sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Space for tomorrow, that he wants to jump on you. Yeah. He's going to come to just so we can share the drive again. Yeah, that's a good idea. Everything in my yeah. Hey. And also you can have a nap.
If actually that's a good question.
Sorry, someone is dropping in here.
No. If the whānau have any big gears that they want to take them through, we could put them on the truck.
So if any of you has some big gear that doesn't fit in any of your cars, we can take it through on Friday because we're traveling up with the truck and maybe the boat. I don't know if you take it. Yeah. So if anything doesn't fit, we can get it to our place the day before. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna take one of the teeth or just put the air mattress in my car. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And probably just get through them there. Right? Maybe it's snack this. I don't know. I don't have a big chair. Yeah. And also, if someone doesn't have enough food, we're there with so many people, I'm sure that we can share and no one will starve,
Absolutely.
No, so that's something I don't worry about. Yeah, we got a lot of food. So it is really nice. Yeah. I'm excited many people are coming. Yeah, that you guys were able to make it happen also and traveling early on Saturday, so
Yeah, and so it's like tossing up because I've got some friends' birthdays and I was like, but no, I really want to go and make the most out of the supports.
yeah.
And they're like really upset.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm nervous as well because I'm not sure.
Yeah. You shared that you were feeling good after you had another okay 2 times. When you were sharing it, I was like, maybe if you go back from the deep end, the middle part, and then you go the other direction.
This is our party. Get high if you want to, fly if you want to.
Yeah, you figured out by doing this.
Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation. This is our party. Get high if you want to, fly if you want to. This is our party. Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation.
Yeah.
Come join the fun.
Well, and also, it shows you like how you react to something like that, because of course, like, never know what's happening, but managed to get back to common.
Though I remain in such a kind-hearted one, when brothers and sisters work in unison, it makes me so proud. I like hanging out with you and party. So get high if you want to, fly if you want to. Cause this is our party. Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation. This is our party. Get high if you want to, fly if you want to. This is our party. Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation. Life gets hard. There seems now to be less freedom than up above, yeah. Why can't we live our lives this way? Not under no mind control. Been told by man how it is and how it should be. The truth will unfold. The story's been told. Fuck you both in this party. So get high if you want to, fly if you want to. Cause this is our party. Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation. This is our party. Get high if you want to, fly if you want to.
No,
This
just
is our
something with like ease and confidence. Like, yeah, it's confident. I'm like, oh my god, do you have any idea how this counts? But when he was doing this program with the kids, they were like very fast going down like good.
No, you can be free, yeah, yeah. With the blessings of Jah, can live for eternity, eternity. So come join the fun, yeah. I see you smiling at me. That's the way I prefer it to be. For me, I face reality. It does not like me too much. Though I remain in such a kind-hearted one. When brothers and sisters work in unison, it makes me so proud. I like hanging out with you and party. So get high if you want to, fly if you want to.
For me,
This is our party. Tell your friends who will come along, there's no invitation.
well, rather than
This is our party. Get high if you want to, fly if you want to. This is our party.
because I want to see where I'm going, but if I can get down, just whatever shows up. And finding that moment when you go up again, but not like in panic mode, especially when for the first time diving, when the first few times in the ocean, or when you pressing it off, and when I go up there, as fast as I can, and then taking the snorkel out because, oh, yeah, exactly. It's already a lot of pressure down. Oh, yeah. Now, there was I didn't share that scene.
I see you smiling at me. That's the way I prefer it to be. For me, a face reality.
Yeah, with that.
Like me too much. The vibrant man is such a commodity. Brothers and sisters work in unison.
Okay.
Makes me so proud. Like hanging out with you and Paul.
Closing all the rooms, Father.
Fly if you want to. 'Cause this is our party. Tell your friends who will come along. There's no invitation. This is our party. Get high if you want to. Fly if you want to. This is our party. Tell your friends who will come along. There's no invitation.
32 seconds, ladies.
There seems now to be less freedom than up above, yeah. Why can't we live our lives this way? Not under no mind control. Been told by man how it isn't always true. Truth will unfold. Stories been told, but to know from this party. So
Get high if you want to.
if you want to.
This is our party. This is our dive party, Fano. This is the new level of partying. Sober party, no alcohol. Please. Just high vibes. And deep dives. Ooh. High vibes and deep dives, Fano. That's what we're into these days. Yeah, brother Wiz. Okay. Live, baby. Trendsetters. Yeah, brother. Okay. Been a bloody awesome class. I trust you fellas have had a good little catch up in a corridor. Yeah, obviously there's a few people who weren't here for our little breakout. It's okay to fight. So you fellas going to get all the deliciousness in your awesome little package tomorrow, as usual. Cool little package in your inbox emails. But this week, you guys have already got you've taken screenshots or written down the breath sequence, the cycles. 15 minutes each day. If you found that 30 seconds, who found that 30 seconds easy? Yeah, yep, okay, cool. Maybe you want to stay on the 30, maybe you want to increase it 5 seconds. If you are going to increase it, just increase it 5 seconds, okay? The person that I was learning from really emphasized slow gradual journey with the increasing of your breath. Okay, and if you are going to be doing any pull training this week, far note, please practice the dynamic breath holds, which is just the swimming underneath the water. Okay, if you are going to be doing any serious like 50-meter lengths or like even 25s, you know, try and get a mate down there, try and get someone down there to support you and just look out for you as you're doing your, you know, you might be pushing your limits or something like that. And so practicing your dynamics and also power lengths, a nice sort of safer way to increase your CO2 tolerance is to do power lengths with the breath hold on the surface. Okay, so what that looks like is you're just, you're on the surface and you're just giving it guts to get to the other side. You're just going for it, but you're holding your breath as you're going to the other side. Okay, you're just like trying to hold your breath and use as much. You're just training your body to get used to that CO2. Okay, that CO2 buildup. It's another good way to do it too. All we want this week to be is a preparation build up for our weekend. So we're gonna just work on our breath holds, dynamic breath holds, power lengths and stuff like that. Okay, te pai. Just another recap on the dates and all that sort of stuff. Saturday's our main training day, okay? As long as you're there on Saturday, 9 o'clock. Put some more details in our group. But we're going to meet at Whakaipo Bay where we're going to do our training. We're going to have a training session 9 till 11:30. We're going to have a lunch break, chill, and then we're going to get back into it at 2:30 till 4 p.m. And that'll be our awesome little day. And then we can just hang out, go over all of our revelation celebrations and challenges and the things we need to work on, and who got to where, who needs to work on what. Yeah, gonna be a cool little buzz. Brother Jay, did you want to mention something?
Yeah. Do you want to go down the far end of Whakaipo Bay? Got any idea about whereabouts on the bay?
Yeah, I quite like that. Oh, there's just a nice spot, like kind of halfway is kind of just, it's all delicious all along there, but there is that far end on the right end where you've got all the weeds and stuff. It's a bit more weedy. I think we'll do our deep diving more in the center of the bay. And then if the whānau want to go for a little tiki tour, a little explore, recommend going over next to the cliffs because it's really nice over there. Hey.
Yeah. There's trout in amongst the weed to chase.
Yeah, it's cool. And hopefully it's clean. It's so beautiful, man, when it's a beautiful day out there too. Wow.
Yeah, it's raining now and it's windy now just so that it's, passes through by the time the weekend comes.
Of course, brother. You know how it works. Okay. Well, if there's any more questions, pump them through now. Otherwise, we're closed.
Oh yeah, Bo. Do you want us to bring anything for the day camp setup? Like, is the plan that we're going to have a little picnic day camp at Whakaipo Bay?
Yeah. We'll just hang out I think we'll hang out at Whakaipo.
Yeah.
People have the option to go back to camp if they want to, but I think it will be safer for us to go and take some stuff down, have a little day camp down at Whakaipo Bay.
Yeah.
Take our chilies and some tables and maybe even a couple of gazebos or something. And
sweet. Yeah, I've got a gazebo I can bring down.
Awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah, should be a good buzz.
Weather's looking mint.
Is it?
On the forecast, yeah, it's looking good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. Absolutely awesome. Divine alignment. The stars are aligning. Our guides are watching over us. Our tupuna, our ancestors, are walking in our footsteps. We are taking action and investing in our hauora, in our health, in our expansion. We're showing up in the world with frickin' mana, with courage, because to dive deep into the water, into the aquatic realms, is to actually dive deep within ourselves. Ultimately, you cannot get to 15 meters by having a frantic mind. You have to, at least in some way, find your own center, find your own peace. Okay, that is the ultimate journey that we're on, brothers. So full power, full love to each and every one of you magnificent beings who took the tohu, who took the motivation to get in here and to expand. Lots of love, man. Okay, that's enough. Let's go. Have a moy. Have a good rest. Lots of love, whānau. Unplug. Love you lots.
Odi ora. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers, brothers. Cheers, sisters.
Hey, brother.
Cheers,
Cheers,
soon.
sisters. Cheers, brothers. Later.
Have a good week.
Ka kite, pūmari.
Ka kite, my bro.
Oh, money.